Good evening, lovely spirits. It's the wise servant here, Mr. Solace. Now, today I want to do this very interesting video, breaking down the makeup and the order of the solar system. Because the way scientists explain the solar system, they don't have the full spectrum of what it is. Scientists of today, they do not apply as above, so below, micro to macro. They don't correlate things in the life, so therefore we never get the full understandings of things. And their shortcomings has to do with money. When things become a business, knowledge gets lost in people paying attention to the money and not the work. So it's a deep thing. But the way they have the solar system explained, it's not complete. It is incomplete knowledge. Now, I don't know if this is on purpose or if they just lack the understandings of as of now. But in any event, truth must be heard. Now, I want to break down the order and makeup of the solar system and what it truly is, and I want to go in depth. So I hope everyone listens. Even if you're not into science, this is very important. It's a deep thing. Now I'm going to use this image. On top you have the atom, and I want you to focus on the atom. I want to break down the makeup of the atom. Now with the atom you have the protons and neutrons in the middle. They're in blue and pink. Those are the proton neutrons. There's different numbers. So you may have 5 protons, 5 neutrons, 5 electrons, etc. Now the little gray balls you see moving around, those are the electrons. And the electrons move around the proton neutrons. They are like lights. They basically are lit up and they hover above a cloud. So there's like a sense of a cloud that moves with the electrons. Now you can look this up on Google or wherever you choose. When you're dealing with the atom, the protons and neutrons are within the nucleus. And the electrons, they move above the proton neutrons in a small cloud. Remember that. They move in a small cloud above the proton neutron. They do not touch. And this makes up the complete body of the atom. Now notice there's more than one electron. In most atoms, or all atoms I believe, have more than one electron. Now I want you to look at the solar system. This is just an image, but you know we have a sun and we have planets. And I want you to see the correlation with the atom. Now focus. I'm going in depth this time, so truly focus. Now you have the sun, which seems to be like the proton neutron, and it's stationary. And you have the planets moving around the sun. But that's incorrect in a sense. What you truly have with the solar system is the sun is actually the electron. And as you see, there's more than one electron in an atom, because the solar system is just an atom on a macro level or size. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. Now, this sun would just be one of these electrons hovering around its proton neutron. Now you have to grasp, because here's where it gets interesting, here's where it gets deep. Our solar system is attached to 2, 3, maybe 4 or more solar systems or suns that's circling the same proton-neutron. So on this macro level of life, you have what we call the solar system is just a piece of a macro atom. We can't perceive the rest. Now the planets that are attached to the electron or the sun is merely just the dust particles that follow each electron. And the electrons are nothing more than suns on a on a micro level. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. In the sun, it's the same thing. So this sun would be moving around its proton-neutron with other suns, and they would just be electrons on a macro. Now here's where it's interesting, because within the atom, the electrons, they move about in a small cloud. Now I want you to look at this image of a star through a telescope. Notice how the star is within a small cloud. If you go to Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 4, and he's describing the glory of the angels when they came to him, he said they came in a whirlwind, in a cloud, with the light in the cloud. So you have to grasp. Within the atom, the electrons hover around the proton-neutrons in a small cloud, because each electron has its own cloud or halo. And when you go to the stars above, the star is in a small cloud. And this sun or star or electron on a macro level would be revolving around its proton-neutron the same way the electrons do to an atom. And it would be more than one sun doing this. And it's a deep thing, because on every level you have the atom. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. I am nothing more than an atom on this level of life. An atom is an atom on the microest level of life. So there should be no confusion. Stars move about in their cloud. Electrons move about in their cloud. Where we get confused is from our perspective. Being as though we're so small, meaning we're on the planets, and they're so small in comparison to the electron, we don't get to see this whole view. You have to grasp. You would be nothing more than the planets. They would be somewhere around here, trailing along this, little specks. Now, how is those little specks going to perceive the other suns and the proton-neutron while it's magnetically attracted or attached to the speed and movement of this object? How is that possible? So you have to grasp. I know it's hard to understand, but it's truly simple. We can't perceive this when we look up above and see a giant atom, because we're too small. We're smaller than the specks of dust. We're on the specks of dust, which we call planets. And we call our sun the sun, but it's truly nothing more than an electron. And it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. If you can just picture this sun and 3 more, and then a proton neutron in the center, and it'll be just like that, where you have these revolving around that, and it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. Everything is an atom. All physical life starts with the atom. So you have to grasp. All things you see are the atom on their level, which is nothing more than the electron, which is the spirit, the life force of that complete body. So the proton neutron is nothing more than the egg cell on its level. And the electron is like the sperm cell of the spirit. And when it attracts the proton neutron, then you get the complete body, which is the atom. And it's the same all the way up. So when you get to the solar system, you have the same thing. Our sun stays on its course around its proton neutron. Now, what kind of atom this is? Because you have different kinds of atoms. A carbon atom is 6 proton, 6 neutron, 6 electron. So you would have the 6 proton, 6 neutron in the middle in the nucleus, and you would have 6 electron pretty much circling around the proton neutron in a small cloud. But the interesting thing is the electrons, they would pair up. So you wouldn't have 6 separate electrons. You'd probably have pairs of 2 circling. So it would look just like this, but just doubled up. And when you look into the sun, or put your phone to it, you can see so many different glares. It's almost as if it's more than one sun when you look up. And this is why. It's a deep, deep thing. But our sun, or the solar systems up above, they're nothing more than atoms on a macro level. And it's a deep thing you have to grasp. Now, don't get lost, because I said you're nothing more than an atom on this level. And you're a physical living being, walking, talking. An atom is a physical... They say the atom is the first piece to physical things. But each individual atom is its own deity. And this is what they have to grasp. It's just like we're our own individual deities. But we're nothing more than the cells within the solar system. So we're one in that sense. And it's the same with the atoms. The electrons, they're their own thing. The proton neutrons, they're their own thing. And when that union happens, you get what you get. And the reason you know it's the same as above, so below, because you see the star within its cloud. And like I said, if you look up an atom, the electron moves about in a small cloud. The cloud is small because it's on a micro level. This cloud is humongous because it's on a macro level, so it's bigger than us. If you were within your body, to the cells within your body, because we all have micro cells within us. Now those micro cells within us, when they look up above, this is what they see within you. That atom, the spirit within the body. So it is the same thing. They see the same perspective that you see, and they're their own atom on their level of life. And the microcells within them look up above and they see the same thing. What you truly are within. So the life is within the life, so the perspective will always be from within. So if you're looking at a star and you're like, man, why can't I see a body? You said it's a physical being. They're looking at it from close up in the telescope. Why I don't see no body? Because they're looking from within. We're within the solar body. Just like the cells within you. They're within you. So their perspective of you is you from within. We see everybody from without. So when you look at me, you see me from without. You don't see what I truly am within, which is this. more than this. The telescope images that they give us, they're like blurry, and they're really not close up, perfect shot. You have to grasp. If they could get this close, they could have got all the way inside of it. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp, but they give y'all what they give y'all. And I guess y'all have to just put the pieces together, or however that works. But it's just like Ezekiel when he said they had 4 wings. You see the 4? 2 on each side, 2 to cover the body, 2 they kept spread. So if this was a clear image, that would be the body. It's a deep thing. If this was a clear image, that would be the body. That Ezekiel seen the whole frame. We just see what they show us. So it's a deep thing. But the atom is nothing more than the solar system on its level. And it's a deep thing that y'all have to grasp. So when they speak of the solar system, y'all have to always remember that the solar system is a part of a whole thing. And our sun is not alone, because it's an electron. We don't even need to call it a sun. We need to call it whatever it is. So if we call the electrons within an atom electrons, then we need to call the sun an electron, so there won't be any confusion. Electron, and there's others. And you truly never know which one you're seeing. It's a deep thing. It's like I said, when the sun sets, you see it go down, then it comes up on a whole nother side. So you don't know which electron you're truly seeing. But it doesn't matter, because it's all a part of one thing, and that's an atom on the macro. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. Scientists, I guess they haven't got to this point. It's like stepping stones with the knowledge. So I guess they haven't got to that point to realize, okay, on a micro level you have the atom, it moves like this, there's a correlation in our solar system. So what's the true correlation? And then get an understanding, okay, that's an atom on the macro, and everything is just a reflection of something smaller. So when you look up above and you see the sun or the solar system, you have to grasp what you're seeing. You're seeing a reflection of yourself on a larger scale. So up above you have stars living on their level of life, walking about in their world the same way we do. Living beings, walking, talking, breathing, doing what they do. And we're the micro life within them. And this is why the perspective is like that. And it's the same because you have micro cells within you. So the life is within the life. You have billions of micro cells within you. There's billions of us here. We all have billions of micro cells in us. So look how many worlds you have right there. I'm a world with micro life within me. You're a world. The squirrel's a world. The bird flying about is a world. Look how many worlds you have on this existence. Because all those micro cells within all of us are us on a micro level. So you have to grasp. It's the same with the solar systems. You got the billions and trillions of solar systems up above, and we're the micro cells in them. And you have other solar systems, and they have their micro cells within them. And the life is ascending up. So you went from cell within a person, sperm cell, the spirit. You got you an egg cell, which is a body. And you came out of that micro existence of living within somebody. It's simple. The life is within the life. So you came out of your mother to be in the same existence that she's in. Can you grasp that? You were one of the billions and trillions of cells within your father. You left as a sperm cell, got an egg cell out of your mother. You came out of your mother to be in the same existence that they're in. So you ascended up. That's deep. You came out of the world you were living in to look square eye to eye with the worlds that you came from. Now we're in this solar system. It's the same. You will be born out onto that existence the same way you was born into this existence. And it's a deep thing. Just imagine a box within a box within a box. Grass. Now there's billions of microcells within the first box. And then you got a box within a box within a box. You're in the last box. That box breaks apart. Now you're in the same existence that box is in. So forget the box breaking apart. You leave out of the first box. You're still in the same existence. You're just like the box now that you were in. Now you leave out of that second box. You're still in the same existence. You're just in the existence that the second box is in now. Then you leave out of the last box. And the box is in a room. And now you're still in the same existence. You're just in the room that the box is in. Then you leave out of the room. And you're just in the house that the room is in. Then you leave out the house, but you're still in the same existence. You're just now in the same existence that the house is in. So the house is outside, and there's many houses, and now you're like them. If you can grasp what I'm saying, it's a deep thing. Box within the box within the box. This is our existence in our life. So you're born out of one existence, clear straight into the next, because the life is within a life. So when you're born out of the solar system, you're born right into the same existence that the solar system lives in. It's a deep thing. It's just like you was microcells within your father. You was born out into the same existence now that he was in. All that time you was living life within him, you wasn't in a different existence. You was just within him. And you came out of him. And you in the same existence now. Feels different, larger scale, but it's truly the same existence. This is why I say we're ascending up nowhere. We're stuck in hell. It's a deep thing. You born out and you ascend up and that's reincarnating. Going from a microcell to because you're not going anywhere. You're still in the same existence. You're just on a larger scale now, but it's the same life. It's a deep thing. It's like imagine a baby within a boy within a man. Grasp. A baby within a boy within a man. Now when that baby leaves out of that man, let's use women. You have a little baby girl. You have a baby girl, a teenage girl, and an adult woman. The baby's within the child girl, and the child girl is within the woman. Now, when that baby leaves that little child girl's vagina, she will be living in the same world as the little child girl. But she's still in the same existence. So she left one world and was born into the next. But truly, she went nowhere. Grasp. Now, she leaves that world of the grown woman. And now she's in the same world as the grown woman. But truly went nowhere. Because the life is within the life. So you just see in a broader perspective. Every time you're born into the next existence. Now the woman is within her house. So the baby leaves the house. And the house is within the whole city. So now the baby is in the city. But it's no different. So this is my point. It's the same with the solar system. If y'all can grasp what I'm saying. But it's a deep thing. This is hell. And It's a deep thing. You don't have to look at hell or any place as a place, because everything is conscious. Hell can't be hell unless the conscience of the people there make it that. So the ghetto isn't the ghetto because someone made it the ghetto. The ghetto is the ghetto because of the conscience of the people that live there, so they act in the way they do, and they make it a hell for themselves. So I don't want y'all to get lost in the hell and say, oh my God, we're in hell, we're condemned. It has nothing to do, nobody's condemning you. We live how we live, like fools. We follow the foolishness. How do we get out of hell, Solace? It's all conscious. The existence we live in is how it is because of the way we think. When everybody begins to think and get a clear understanding, then you will see a difference. But up until that point, now you have to grasp, since this existence been in existence, ain't no change come. Grasp how deep that is. No change has happened since this existence been in existence. This hell. So you born from microcell and you born out to the next existence with an organism. Then you born out from an organism to solar. But the whole existence, like I said, with the box in the box, you're not going nowhere. You're still in the void. The whole universe, the dark space, the void. You're never truly leaving the void. And it's a deep thing. Conscious. The way we live, the way we think. It's a deep thing you have to grasp. You got the story of Lucifer and all that for a reason. In a whole nother existence, they don't have that story. You know why? What do they need it for? It don't got nothing to do with them. You only get stories that got to do with you. Duh. It's a deep, sad thing. I don't know why that's so hard of a pill to swallow. I mean, if you were Christian, aren't you waiting for Jesus to come save you? So if you ain't in hell, where you at? Where he need to save you? If you ain't in hell, why did your God come here and get killed? Only in hell do they kill gods. Dress. It's a deep thing. Y'all know all that God shit is goofy shit, but I'm with y'all. If you believe in God, I just need you to understand. Your God Jesus came here, they killed him. But you like, nah, I ain't in hell. Well, where they do that at? I'm sure they do that in hell. But it's a deep thing. Only in hell do they kill the Son of God. You waiting for the Son of God to come back and save you. Only in hell would they think in this manner. I killed the Son of God, now he's going to come back and save me. Why? You killed him. Only in hell they would do this. So it's a deep thing. But I don't think people are going to grasp. It's your main man, Solace, man. Y'all be groovy.